Good morning, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. If you're excited to be here, can you give a round of applause? First to First Step Foundation and to yourself. Thank you so much for honoring this invite. I mean, I won't be here standing if we just have chairs. I need people to talk to. So thank you so much for coming. Well done. So today I'm going to be speaking on a very interesting topic. I don't know if my slide is ready. I'll be speaking on a very interesting topic, and I want to implore us to see this as not a normal event, the ones you've attended before. You've attended an event before, let me see your hand, maybe on a Saturday, a tech event that has to do with young ladies, international ladies, events, conferences. You've attended a conference before, let me see your hand. You've not attended before, let me see your hand. If you have not attended before, that means every one of us here, okay, you've not attended a conference before. Okay, what about a church program? You've attended a church program before, right? So when we go to these conferences, there is usually highlights. I will call them take home. Or there are things that struck your heart. They say, oh, this thing that this man of God said, I will start doing it. Maybe you went for a revival conference and they're telling you about fasting, prayer, read your Bible, and then you decided that you're going to start reading your Bible. Or you go for a conference and they're talking about motivate, build yourself, and all of that, and then you decide that as I'm leaving this conference, I'm going to put into practice this thing that I've heard. But you discover that at times, after a week or 2 weeks, you've lost the zeal. You've even forgotten about the things that you learned in that conference. But I just want to implore us to take note of whatever is going to happen today and decide on your own that you're going to take a step towards building the future you desire. Do we understand? So don't see this as a normal conference where you come and just write and go home without doing anything about it. So as you're listening to the conversations, take out action points, key points, things that you would do personally to ensure that you're no longer on the stage. Are we together? Yes. All right. So today I'm going to be speaking. No, our theme is what? Redefine. Can we echo it together? Redefine. One more time. Redefine possible. We want to redefine what it means to do something, the possibilities that lies in the world of technology. So growing up, I used to see tech as one big thing, a big deal. I mean, maybe it's for guys, people that know how to write codes and all of that. So I would always put that career path into the part of the other gender. So as a lady, the only thing I can do is to maybe write. I create content online, writing. I can go into food business and all of that. But a time came in my life, my perspective about technology changed, and that was when I decided to shoot my shot. And I can tell you that this part is not something that is as big and huge as people usually paint it to be. And that's what I'll be trying to talk about today. My topic is innovate, elevate, and impact. Can we say it together? Innovate, elevate, and impact. One more time. Innovate, elevate, and impact. So we're going to be dissecting this theme: innovate, elevate, and impact. What does it mean to be innovative? Can someone tell me? What does it mean to be innovative? Oftentimes we've heard the word innovate, especially in the world of tech. What does it mean to innovate? Please, I want us to talk. Are we cold? Should we turn off the AC? Our host has asked before. Okay, so let's stop. What does it mean to innovate? What does it mean to innovate? Okay. To bring out something new. To bring out ideas. Ideas that will cause a change. Ideas that would impact lives. Ideas that would change the normal standard of doing things. So before now, we had our traditional banks like UBA, Access Bank, Fidelity. But I think during coronavirus and then the period where cash was a challenge in Nigeria. We started seeing something like OPay, Money Points, PalmPay. Those are ideas that were birthed from a problem. So you can say you're innovative when you have discovered a problem and then you come up with solution. Do we understand? So now the question I want to leave here today is, how can I create a solution? Or what's that problem that you see in the society and there's a solution you can create that would solve that problem? So I want you to think deeply. There was that one thing. And then the thing is, before you even start, or when you've gone to that point of meditating and trying to come up with a solution, it may not really make sense at that point. So what's the name of the man that created the telephone? Or let's say light, electricity. What's the name of the man that invented electricity? Huh? What? Albert Einstein. Is it Albert or is Edison? Thomas Edison. Okay. Okay. So Thomas Edison, how many times did he try to innovate or create electricity and he failed? How many times? 99 times. Is it not weird? I mean, doesn't it sound absurd that someone would do something for 99 times? I can imagine maybe his wife at that time say, babe, what is happening? I don't understand. Are you okay? You've invested all our resources in this electricity. But then he wanted to create a solution. He knew that it was possible. So there's a saying that if your mind can conceive it, you can what? Achieve it. So I have this belief that so far as I've thought about it, just by thinking about it, it is possible. Just by thinking about it, it is possible. So whatever dreams you have, be it in the world of tech or whatever career path, it is possible. You may encounter some challenges, just like the man that had to do it for 99 times. He had so many reasons to give up. His friends may have talked him out of it. But no, he saw a solution and he knew it was possible. He just needed to try one more time. Tell your neighbor, I will try again. Those of us that have tried to learn tech before, and it's as though your head is not carrying it. You have tried and say, this thing is not for me. You've left it. Tell your neighbor, I will try again. Okay, so we want to look at women pioneering the future of technology. And these are the few things we'll consider today. Why this conversation matters. Why are we here today? Why are we having this conversation? Is it even necessary? And then evolution of women in tech and all of that. So, why are we having this conversation? Why are we here? So last month we celebrated International Women's Day, and we are here today to have this conversation as it regards us as females. So let's look at the evolution of women in tech. The lady Ada Lovelace, she was the first computer programmer. How many of us know about programming? She was the first. And then we have Grace Hopper. She was the pioneer of computer programming languages. And then Radia Perlman, the mother of the internet. So if these women could do it, I can do it. We can do it. But then there are some barriers that women still face when it comes to technology. So in our time in Nigeria, how many female leaders in tech do you know? Let's not say Nigeria, in the world, entire world. How many do you know? How many can come to your mind now? Anybody? Nobody, right? So let's talk about the men. How many men in tech can you remember as you're sitting down? How many men that are ruling the world in technology? Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg. We can remember them, right? Even in Nigeria, the founder of, is it Carrywise? Founder of Carrywise, founder, and even this Money Points, PalmPay, they're all men, all guys. But you can't remember any woman that invented any form of technology, right? We actually have one woman, and as we go forward, I would show that to us. Yeah, so we have fewer women in leadership and technical roles, and then access and equity. We have limited funding for startups. So a startup like First Tech is coming up to redefine possible. is coming up to give an impression that women can make this happen. Can we give a round of applause to First Tech Foundation? And we have some other foundations that are also trying to come up with this narrative that women can actually venture into technology. But then the challenge is the number of, the percentage of funding that goes into empowering women in technology is very limited. Very limited. So there's a research that says about 25%, I think I have it in my slide. Okay, 2.3% of venture capital funding goes to female-funded startups, just 2.3%. So you can see that that's a very poor landmark. Am I correct? Out of 100%, we just have 2.3%. And then stereotypes. They say tech is a man's thing. It's a man's thing. So when they see a lady with her jean and her polo and the bag, I say, oh, tech lady. But when they see a guy with the jean and the polo, they will not call him a tech guy, right? But when they see a lady, they feel, tech lady and all of that. So there is this bias and perception that technology is for the male folks. But then we are here to redefine possible, okay? So yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about my journey. The first time I heard about technology was in 2020. Not the first time I heard about technology, but the first time I developed this interest for technology was in 2020. So I used to wonder, how do people build websites? How do people build codes? I would see graphs, charts, and all of that. And I was like, how does this even come together? What was the possibility of bringing two numbers together and you can have a beautiful visual? You can have a beautiful graph. When I mean visual, graphs, bar charts, and the likes. How does it happen? So I told my mom that I want to learn computer. And what I had in mind initially was Microsoft Word and CorelDRAW. I wanted to learn how to design. And then she said, okay, I know one man that has a computer center. Who knows that man that has a computer center? You know one man that has a computer center. So she said, I know one man that has a computer center. He will teach you how to type, he will teach you how to print and photocopy. I said, okay. And then she took me to the man's place and then we started. So when I started, I said, okay, this is amazing. Where the instructor took me through the basics of Microsoft. I knew how to type and all of that. But I wanted to know more. And in that office, I saw another man that was into data analysis. So he will impute numbers in a software and then analyze the data. He will have tables, charts, and then he will start explaining what those charts, what they mean and all of that. So I was very interested. I started asking him that, sir, how are you doing this thing? How does it work? I was very curious. At first, the man was like, you only came here to learn Microsoft Word. Why are you interested in this? I said, sir, I just want to know. And then that was how I started teaching me. So normally our office opens by 10 a.m., but I will go by 8. Because I want this man to teach me. Those 2 hours, he will teach me, and then before I start my normal class with my instructor. And that was how I stumbled into data analysis. I didn't even know what it meant. Because when I saw what he was doing, I went to do a research. And at first, it was looking so big. I mean, numbers, and me, I don't like mathematics. So I was like, how do I cope with these plenty numbers and all of that? But then I started. And I didn't do so much. The corona break was over. I had to come back to school. And then I went for my internship. And then I told my director where I was doing my internship that, see what I started when I was during the corona break. I would love to know more about it. Do you know somebody that can teach me? And then he told me that that's what he does. Like for a living, that's what he does. That's how he makes his money. I was so excited. I mean, this is at my disposal. And that was how I started learning. And do you know the funny thing? When I started, I didn't have a laptop. So I know some persons will be like, oh, how do I go into tech without a laptop? Yes, you need a laptop. But you don't need to wait for you to have it all figured out or to have everything that you need. I'm talking to somebody. You've been wanting to go into technology, but because you don't have a laptop, you feel that you're limited. There are no limitations. Can you say that to yourself? There are no limitations. There are no boundaries. There are no limitations. So I told him that, sir, I don't have a laptop. What do I do? He said there's a laptop in his office. Whenever I come, I can practice with it. I started. But I needed a laptop I would take to the house. So after the normal practice, I also practice at home. But there was no laptop. And there was no way, I couldn't get the money at that time to buy a laptop. So what did I do? I met one of my uncles that has a laptop, and I told him that, see what I started learning. I told him the reason why I went into it, and I told him the money I'm going to be getting out of it, that he should not bother himself, that when I start making money now, I'm going to buy this for him. I've not bought it for him, but I just told him. And so he then gave me his laptop, that I should be using it during the weekends, and then later on I can bring it to him. What am I trying to say? If you have passion for something, you can go out of your way to learn that thing. So there are some persons, they are so comfortable, like they just want to be in their house and expect a laptop to fall from the sky and get to them. So I started learning, I started practicing with that laptop, and got to a point, I started making money. I was in year 3 then. I started analyzing data for final year students, their research projects and all of that. And I started making money, 5,000, 7,000 and the likes. And before you know, I was able to save, I think, up to 25K. And then I went to meet a man that sells laptop and told him that, okay, I want to deposit this money. I'll be giving you the money, small like that, until when it's complete, I will now carry my laptop. And that was what happened. And that was how I was able to get my first laptop. Hope you got something from the story. And afterwards, I kept upskilling, I kept improving myself. I started with SPSS, and then I went to Excel, went to Power BI, SQL, and all of that. What am I trying to say? If you have a vision, if you have something that you've conceived in your heart, there is nothing that can stop you. I used to tell people that you are inexcusable. You don't have any excuse to be a failure, unless you don't have breath in your nostrils. Do you understand? You don't have any excuse. Some people, they say, my background, where I'm coming from, my parents, they can't sponsor me, they don't have money. You do not have any excuse. The reason is that there are people that were in worse situation than you that have made it in life. Do you understand? So whatever reason you're giving, whatever excuses you're giving, as much as they can be genuine, it is not excuse enough. You are inexcusable, okay? So yeah, I've talked about the challenges I faced. So I didn't have a laptop at that point. Money was a challenge. I remember times I would trek from my house inside Alu, and I'm coming to Choba because I want to learn data analysis. There are times I have office work to do, but I want to have extra knowledge. I want to get this skill. I can practice with that laptop because I know when I get to the house, I don't have a laptop to practice with. And even till now, I'm still putting in the efforts to advance. So yeah, I didn't wait for the door to open. I don't know what happened to this slide, but the quote is, I didn't wait for the door to open. I created my space in the room. Innovates, as we know, solving who code, and then this is in Nigeria. So I wanted to talk about this lady. She is the founder of Life Bank. So Life Bank is a software where people can make orders for blood. They can donate blood through that promotion state. Can we clap for her? So we can excuse the fact that this is a white lady. She has all the line. Even as popular as YouTube is, YouTube is a platform where you can learn. And then how do you thrive? Stay curious. Can we say that? Stay curious. Be visible. Whatever thing you do, no matter how you try to put yourself in a position where you want to fit in and you feel intimidated because everybody's doing this and you don't have a place.